Alright guys, so what the fuck's going down? We're out here in the middle of the motherfucking night and we are getting it.
How long are you going to do this for?
Yeah, no, right. So guys, what is going down, and welcome to an update vid. It's now been 2 weeks since the New Zealand show, and I obviously do updates on my social media like Instagram and stuff like that, and I need to get better at just putting everything on YouTube. You guys have watched my journey through YouTube, and then I'll put up an Instagram post like a week ago saying what I placed and stuff, and then I don't announce it on YouTube. I did the exact same thing with the Gold Coast show. I don't even know if I announced my placings. So we're gonna update first. I came 6th in the show a couple of weeks ago, guys, in New Zealand. It was an amazing show. I was really happy to be a part of it. Really happy with how I looked personally. A lot of progress and personal goals smashed on the prep for me. Almost as lean as I was all those years back, where everyone's like, well, I'm actually wearing the Gold's Gym stringer right now. Actually just finished up a session, but we'll talk about that soon. I came 6th. The guys who beat me on the night looked great, and I have no bitter feelings or anything. I'm happy I came 6th. The guys who beat me looked really great. On the show day in the morning, I only just made it on the end of the call out, so I think there's 11 of us in the call-outs. I was right on the end. If you saw the show day vid, there was like the lineup, and I was just like out to the side, leaning forward, like making sure they damn well saw me, because I hadn't worked that hard to not get seen and noticed and, get a great placing for how hard I work. So yeah, I came 6th. I want to give a big shout out to my man Tyrone, who actually won the show. He looked incredible. Me and Tyrone have been competing together for, well, not 4 years, but we've been friends for years. We've competed a couple of times together, and he looked incredible, man. He is just jacked, conditioned, and looking at him and his physique, arguably he's pretty damn jacked, and you could be like, oh, is he on the borderline of muscle model, or should he be a muscle model instead of fitness model? I'm not going to make judgments on that. The federations want to put people in terms of the categories. They want to place them, what's best in their opinion of the division, the federation. I'm not the one running the shows. I'm not saying, hey, this is what fitness model should be. That's not up to me. So personally, I think Tyrone looked great. His conditioning was insane, miles ahead of mine. I was looking at him backstage when we were pumping up, and I was just like, holy shit, he's got me in the conditioning. It's incredible. So big shout out to Tyrone, looked amazing. One thing I do want to talk about, because it was a smaller show in terms of the guys, there's about 20 guys in the division. I'm pretty sure there's exactly 20 of us. We were combined from being, instead of a tall and a short category, we were just combined into one. So actually, out of the top 5, the people who bet me, I'm pretty sure that they, in a normal WBFF show, in an amateur show, they would have been all in the short category, which means, again, like, I would have done a lot better if there was a tall category. But because it was the first show in New Zealand, there wasn't a heap of male competitors, and that's fine. Like, that's just the way it is. I'm sure the shows is just going to get bigger and better. Could I be better about, not winning a tall category? Because I'm pretty sure maybe there was one guy who might have been in the tall, so I would have come 2nd or something like that, but I'm not going to be annoyed about that. At the end of the day, if I won my pro card and went pro, all the short and the tall categories combined anyway, so I'm on the stage versing the same people regardless. So whether I won a pro card, let's say, I'd still have to make so much improvements before I hit the pro stage anyway. Right now, my goals, I know what improvements I need to make. I'd rather hit my improvements, now, before I even go pro, so that when I do go pro, I'm already at that competitive level. I've got to make these improvements to myself regardless, even whether I decide to compete again or not. I'm not 100% sure. I think I might. I really did enjoy it in the end, as rough as it was. I've learned a hell of a lot more about my body. I feel way more in tune with myself. I learned and remembered things from years ago which I didn't remember the last prep. So all these little things, and definitely if I did it again, I'll give myself a lot more time. I was so casual because I had so much more time this year to get ready, and my starting point was so much better. I was way too casual on the shred. I thought I could get away with more calories than I actually could, in the earlier weeks leading into it, and it got to a point I just really had to rush it towards the end. But again, always learning, always, That's just a part of the territory of doing this stuff. So yeah, as well with Gemma, she came 10th, guys. Her lineup, I think there was 20 to 25 girls. So that's incredible. Not only her first show, her first ever shred. So proud of her. You know, we did exactly what we wanted to do. Sure, we could have actually brought her in a bit leaner if we had another few weeks. I could say the exact same thing about myself. But our goals with her at the start of the prep were to just keep her shapely and full looking and not just look depleted and skinny. And that was our main goals at the prep. So I had her on pretty high calories when we started her shred. Actually, I'm going to do a separate video with her standing next to me. Well, we probably won't be standing out in the middle of the car park. It's not really her style. We'll be probably sitting down at a table. But we're going to go over her whole prep, her journey, get some insight from her, because she kind of dipped out of my vids towards the end because, you know, she was feeling like shit. For me, I was feeling like shit, but this is my job. This is my livelihood. I love doing this. It did get a lot harder towards the end, but yeah, we're kind of living a bit more of a normal life right now. And that brings me to my next point. Everyone's been asking, Freeze, are you going to be lean bulking after the show? Are you reverse dieting? You know, what's your plans right now? And my answer is to that, I've just been taking 2 weeks right now to currently just eat like a normal person, not go super crazy, but if there's stuff I want, have it, have decent sized meals, and just train still just as hard, if not even harder now, because I've got so much more energy for my training. So these last 2 weeks, guys, I've just been doing that and just resetting my brain mentally, because when you're depleting for so long, your mental cognition just gets wrecked and you're not in a clear state of mind, you know, right coming out of the comp for the next, you know, at least 1 week afterwards. If you're replenishing, some people reverse diet straight away. That's cool. Last year after my show, I took 3 days off, and then I pretty much capped my calories pretty close to still being in shreds, and then I reverse dieted insanely well all last summer to stay just as shredded as I was like 5 months after my comp, as I was on the show day. That suited my lifestyle back then and my goals back then. But you're always going to be different. So for me right now, my biggest thing is just getting that mental clarity and just making sure I'm making the right decision. If I did decide to do a good lean bulk straight away after the show, and that was the wrong decision, I wouldn't want to, you know, get into it a month and be like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I did this for this comp, yet I want it to be a lot leaner for my business, for what I'm doing with growing my business and all this stuff, my photo shoots or whatever it could be, you know what I'm saying? So for me, the most important thing right now is just having these 2 weeks to just clear the head so I can move forward and just be 100% sure and not have to doubt my decision of what I decide to do. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm about to make that decision over these next few days, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pumped about training, man. In terms of my physique, I know everything I want to bring up. I know the weak points. And, you know, that's cool to know moving forward. So my training has been a lot more specific towards training my weaker body parts that I want to improve. So a big thing as well that I want to talk about moving forward. Honestly, guys, I need to say this. You guys already probably saw it. I was talking about it in a couple of vids. Those last 4 weeks of my prep, I didn't like the person I became. I became so selfish, and all I cared about was myself, not from like a wanting to be selfish perspective, but unless you're conditioned to like doing shows and doing this all the time, which I hope to get to that stage, and the more I do, the more I will get there. But I was literally just so focused on myself. It was just like, how am I looking? Am I going to be good enough? And my mind was just always on my body, on my nutrition, which, you know, it's not a bad thing, but it became extremely obsessive to the point of, because I was depleted as well, I didn't have much mental capacity outside of all my focus on myself, so that, you know, things like my businesses, I lost a lot of motivation with them. I felt like I wasn't giving my clients enough like I would normally like to do. There was a few points because I did 2 kind of peak weeks almost back to back there, where I felt like I didn't give clients extra messages of support that I usually would, in terms of reaching out and just saying, hey, how's your day going and stuff like this. It was like when I wasn't in the gym or doing what I was doing with my diet, and I was just like a zombie, man. I was cooked. I hated anything to do with like having to make an effort for anything. It got really bad. With gym C's as well, I was supposed to be organizing this new drop, which we're doing like weeks ago, but I didn't even want anything to do with it. I just had the workload there and I just put it all to the side, and it was just me, my body, and am I gonna look sweet for this comp? And coming out of the other end of that, I'm like, holy shit, I just feel free and I feel good again. And my number one priority right now is to not be focused on myself and to be focused more on, you know, my businesses, like my clients and all that. I want to, instead of being like me, it's like, how the fuck are you going, man? Like in my conversations, I even felt like I became so like this with me, and I just hate that. I didn't like that at all. That's one thing I didn't like about the prep. Again though, like I said, maybe if you get more conditioned to it, you kind of overcome things like this. But moving forward, I just want to give a bit of an update on what's going on. I've got a new 6-week shred actually, which will be starting probably tomorrow if you're watching this. If you would like to join, actually give me a DM. Basically for anyone who has left shredding for summer to the last minute. So it's going to finish exactly right before Christmas. So basically if you want to drop as much body fat as possible, give me a DM on Instagram. I'll let you know all the details for that. I would love to have you on board. I'm super pumped to just be giving a lot more now and you know, taking on board new clients and sharing my knowledge now, which has been further, you know, increased, I guess you could say, with another prep under my belt. And you know, I'm right in it, living it, and I feel amazing, man. I just want to share that. So if you can, give me a DM. I want to talk about gym tees as well. So the athletics tees, I'm not wearing one now. I was in the gym. I might put some footage over here. A lot of people have been asking me about these. Restocking for Black Friday, guys. So the black ones sold out within the first night. The green ones sold out within like 2 or 3 days. We're going to be restocking these for Black Friday, so that's in a few weeks. Make sure you get amongst. Wait till you see the new drop. It's going to be insane. So first of all, the athletics tees, they'll actually be on a Black Friday sale as well, so you'll get them a bit cheaper. All the track shorts, Black Friday sale as well. And then we're doing a new drop, which is unbelievable. And I know I say that about every drop, like that this one's the best. This one is actually the best. Wait till you guys see this stuff. It's so sick. I've been designing it these last couple of weeks, and I just can't wait to share that with you guys. So Black Friday, 29th of November. What's next on the channel? Like I said, I want to do that vid with Gem. I want to do a vid overlining my whole shred and my peak weeks, going into detail more, because I know with the series, it started off very informative with meals and stuff, and then by the end of it, it just got to a point where it was a lot less informative. It was just kind of tracking along with what I was doing. I wanted to give a big overlap on that and kind of show you guys meal by meal, week by week, cardio by cardio, calories by calories, exactly how I got in the shape I got in. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. Always means a lot. You guys who show love on these vids, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Feels good to be back, feeling a bit more normal here on YouTube. And yeah, I just had a good training session, and I need to make that decision over these next couple of days of what I'm going to do moving forward. No doubt I'll talk about that in a future vid, so definitely make sure you stay tuned on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You know what it is. We fucking getting it out here in the middle of the night. Cool.